go ahead, guys.
Sure.
And all these rules is husband, father, brother.
So this is Kelly. Kelly, a little bit of background about her. She's a 38-year-old woman. She was born and raised in St. Louis. She lives currently in an apartment on her own. She has a bachelor's degree in human development and family studies / child life from Mizzou and her master's in social work from Washington. She is currently a child life specialist at St. Louis Children's Rehab or St. Louis Children's Hospital and a counselor at the Rehab.
And one thing I loved was that
St.
he
Louis, and she has a service dog named Bandit. Kelly is a bright, hardworking 38-year-old woman.
every weekend, and I
She was
thought
born
that was spirituality.
5 weeks early in 1980, and she was 2 pounds and 14 ounces, which makes her a miracle baby for the time. And this was her biggest risk factor for having cerebral palsy. She currently uses a motorized wheelchair. She has
most
muscle
common areas
rigidity
of
and
symptoms that people with
spasticity.
Parkinson's
She has
experience.
respiratory issues from
Now,
having
usually,
underdeveloped
more
lungs at birth,
specific
so she currently has
symptoms are
asthma.
not going to be
She has
experienced the
continence
same
and
by
visual
everyone.
issues.
So
She has no mental or
have a
intellectual
different
deficits,
spectrum
which is
of
a common
what are their most
symptom of
severe
having
symptoms
cerebral palsy.
versus maybe not
And
less,
she went to
maybe
specialist
more or
for
less
research
severe
until
symptoms. So
second grade
someone
when they
could
realized
have
that she didn't really need to
very high depression, but
And so
no,
going off
they
of
don't
what
really
Jane
have
said
issues.
about Kelly having respiratory and visual issues, those are client factors that relate to body structures, which are also prevalent in other people's CP also.
And some of the ways that CP affects Kelly's everyday life is she is independent with her EDLs. She dresses herself, makes herself. She doesn't cook, but she can. She prefers not to. And she does get some help in the morning just to help her energy expenditure. So she gets help, getting her clothes out and making sure she can fall when she transfers and helping her put her clothes on. Her muscle spasticity can cause pain, so she gets Botox treatments, and she goes to physical therapy to help this. She aims to stand as much as possible. She has an active social life. Online shopping is very helpful for her because she is in a motorized chair, so it's easier for her to have things delivered to her. And her sleep is largely affected by her CP.
And so thinking about some of the routines for performance patterns that are prevalent in Kelly's life, as Jane said, she has personal care assistants come help her in the morning just to really assist with that energy conservation. And the roles that she has are as a daughter, a sister, an employee, and a dog owner. Her family lives in St. Louis, and so she frequently spends time with them. And some of the social aspects of her life are going to sports games, which is important to her.
And their ability to
Some
get
themes that we saw in her life are experiences of interdependence, spirituality, her experiences with healthcare systems, her sexuality, and experiences of employment with disability. So her experience of interdependence and dependence, studies show that the difficulty in participation in certain life areas increase for individuals with CP from 16 years old and up. But Kelly's very reluctant to get help. She is very independent on her own, but because of energy restrictions, she has now hired help to come in and help her in the morning so she can save her energy and then do more things in the afternoon throughout her day. Which she was a little upset with at first, but has come to understand the use of it. She uses her chair that helps her a lot, and then she also does a therapy dog Bandit who helps her with things like picking up things, closing doors, helping her sleep, helping her move over in her sleep. He lays on her legs when she's sleeping because of the spasticity and the shaking of them, so that helps her a lot and she sleeps with more energy. Her experiences with healthcare is she's had pretty good access to therapy her whole entire life, but because of her having CP, doctors kind of take when she's like nervous about different symptoms, they'd be like, oh, like it's just your CP, but it turned out that she actually had thyroid cancer in her late 20s, and they kind of ignored the facts for a long time, or her symptoms, but like, oh, it's just CP symptoms, but then she was like, no, it's actually cancer. And then experience of employment, she has never been discriminated against having CP, and she has 2 professions. One was earlier about Child Life Specialist at Children's Hospital, and then a one-on-one counselor at the Rehab Institute. And her energy conservation still impacts how much she can work, but the actual, no one else has been, no one discriminates against her.
So we need to have, by now you should be asking questions. You've got about 2.5 minutes left. All right. So my big overarching question that others may have is, so tell me about how CP affects the daily life of a variety of kinds of people, not just your client.
Yeah.
Because most of this is about your person that you interview.
Yeah. So thinking about some of the client factors related to body structure with people with CP having chronic pain, that was represented in Kelly as well as a lot of other people with CP. Kelly is she identifies largely with her disability, and she's very active in disability advocacy. So hearing about her friends who also have chronic back pain, who have had multiple surgeries, and then that contributes to, especially when people with CP are aging, just thinking about how their needs are going to change as they get older, which also relates to a transition of needing more caregiver help.
What else do you guys want to?
How did you guys meet Kelly, or how did you get in contact with her?
I'm a personal care assistant, so I'm some of the help that she gets in the morning, and so I see a lot of her. She is very independent, and I can see that she can do all of these things, but I can also see that it is so helpful for her to she puts her shirt on and then her hands in her. It's just that little give of energy that is really helpful for her throughout the day.
So she has 2 professions. Does she work every day still?
She works almost 7 days a week. She does. She works at the Rehab Institute during the week, and then she does her Child Life Specialist job on the weekends, like Saturdays. It's more of her part-time job. Some of the things she does is she has a lot of friends in the area, and that's another place where she's met a lot of other people with CP, and some of the things that she told us about the differences and experiences with CP is she has a lot of friends in chairs or with different disabilities, especially cerebral palsy. So she will she likes to watch, just normal things that anyone else would want to do.
She dates.
She dates,
Yeah,
yes.
she
She
talked
does.
about that.
Yeah. She did say that she had a tendency up until a few years ago of dating people just in chairs because she felt like they weren't exploiting or just curious about her condition.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you. No, she didn't.
All right. Let's